Wednesday explained by an idiot. Also, subscribe please, this took me like 2 months to make. Okay, so this is Wednesday, an emo child that has learning disorders. So turns out some dudes jumped her brother and shoved that kid into a locker. Then she used her magical powers to see who committed this felony. Hey yo, what is this shot? Then she pulls up to the pool to find the kids that jumped her brother. Hey yo, are those piranhas? Nah bro, I think he's dead. So then she gets expelled for obvious reasons, and now she's getting shipped off to some random school in the middle of nowhere. Pull up in the whip! And she gets to her room and is introduced to her new roommate Enid. Turns out a rainbow had a seizure in her room because what the hell happened here? Enid takes her on a tour around the place and they bump into this dude named Ajax. And after that she said bye to her parents or whatever, and here he comes, the best character in the series. Dang, she really split the room in half. Yo, what the? And if anything couldn't get worse, of course she's a furry. Also, this woman comes in, I think she's important to the story or something.
And no boys, ever.
We'll see about that.
Coach, she tripped me.
Bro, this kid is capping. Oh, she did not let that slide. Bro, that was a fat L right there, honestly. Absolute Chad. Yo, she found him. She's finally going to the therapy that she desperately needed.
This is a safe space, Wednesday. A sanctuary where we can discuss anything.
I'm so sorry, but why does she look like...
The point is you assaulted a boy and showed no remorse for your actions. That's why you're here.
He lost a testicle.
He lost a what? And she's gone.
Holy crap!
All we have is drip.
But drip is for people who hate themselves and know their lives have no real purpose or meaning.
Bro, why'd you have to do him like that? Yo, it's the gang! The barista's dad, who's the sheriff, finds out that Wednesday is a part of the Addams family. So apparently, her father committed multiple war crimes and he's supposed to be in prison or something. Turns out Wednesday's this guy I found on Google Images because she is killing it on the cello. So then, the hand, thing, commits a break-in and gets into Tyler's house, who's the barista. All for him, just to give Tyler Wednesday's number. They get into a call and Wednesday asks Tyler to go to this festival so she can try and escape or something. But turns out, the principal's also here for some reason. Bro, she's using aimbot. The gang pulls up yet again, and now they gotta lose them in the crowd. He bumps into this dude, she gets another vision, and turns out he's about to die, so as any normal human being would do, she follows him into the woods. Plot twist, turns out he's Luke Skywalker, and uses the Force against her for some reason.
And his name is John C.
Well, now he's dead. Episode 2. Chase McCain pulls up to the crime scene and they didn't find anything, but Wednesday was there and nobody believes her. The principal leaves and then literally like a minute later, Rowan's back, so he must have somehow used /TP or something. She goes back to therapy with the Hammerhead woman and Tyler's waiting for Wednesday outside. And my boy Tyler still believes what happened to Rowan. So apparently Enid's a part of the canoeing team, so that's cool. She sees this weird symbol thing, which is actually what Rowan, who's the kid that died, had in a page, and his dead mother drew Wednesday before she was born. But Rowan is either dead or not or something. I don't know, bro. It's confusing.
Gabe, why do you have to be so confusing all the time?
The principal still thinks that she's capping. And then after Wednesday pulls a phase Jarvis and uses her aimbot skills with Xavier, she then pulls up to the Bee Sanctuary and meets this dude named Eugene. Rowan still doesn't want to admit that he was capping all along, but Thing hops on the car to go investigate. He starts running after him at the train station when he goes into the bathroom and comes out as a fully grown man. I'm absolutely confused, and then turns out that it was the principal all along, and she was a shapeshifter that turned into Rowan to make everyone think that Wednesday was capping. My guy Eugene starts flirting with Enid, and then Wednesday sneaks out to the woods. Dang, I ship. They go on to talk about what happened at the festival, and she gets a vision about a book and Rowan, and then she seriously goes on a whole mission to find just a book. And she's so desperate that she breaks into Xavier's dorm room to try and find it. Obviously, my man comes out of the bathroom, and now Bianca's here for some reason. Turns out my guy Xavier likes Wednesday, and Bianca's getting mad jealous because they used to be dating. Enid has a mental breakdown because her teammate for the canoeing had been diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, and now they're missing a co-pilot for the boat. So Wednesday comes in clutch and volunteers for the canoe race. Turns out Bianca's team are like good or something. The race starts, and then she gets the heebie-jeebies again, and turns out there's this other girl that looks exactly like her, but she's blonde. Her team is yelling at her because she took too long to get the flag, and they get a move on. The race is tight, and then Bianca's team gets stabbed, and they have a mental breakdown. And so the fur team won, and that happened. Wednesday snuck into the Cool Kids Club and tried to find the book that she's looking for basically no reason. And then she gets kidnapped. So it turns out there's a secret Mickey Mouse clubhouse down here that all the cool kids run, and their name are the Nightshades. So Wednesday just walks out of there. Episode 3. The episode begins with Wednesday still looking for that useless book. So now the school's going on a field trip to the town square. There's like 4 different places that they get to go to, and is randomly given out with letters. After they get out of the bus, Wednesday talks to Xavier about the useless book yet again. So at Pilgrim World, the place that some people are going for the field trip, one of the gang members is working there and is also the mayor's son. Wednesday wants to switch roles with Enid because she was told that the book was somewhere in Pilgrim World. Wednesday's place that she got to go to was an antique shop, but Enid didn't want to go, But turns out Ajax was gonna volunteer at the antique shop, so suddenly Enid had a change of heart and decided to swap with Wednesday. At Pilgrim World, there's this big shed, and it's off limits because of renovations or something, so she obviously didn't follow the rules and broke into the shed. There's this statue of a guy named Joseph Crackstone. Back when Wednesday saw that blonde girl in her vision, she was holding a book, and now she sees the same girl in a painting, holding the same book. The woman asks where Wednesday is, and Bianca's a snitch, so she told her. Wednesday finds the book in a glass case. Plot twist, the book was a fake. And the woman breaks into the shed with Eugene, and she gets mad at her or whatever, but she said that the book was stolen last month. In the antique store, there's an old man, and Enid asks if she could help with anything. And he growls at her or something, and he stole the camera. Of course he did. Enid goes up to Ajax and they start flirting. Oh, she put her hand on him. She asked him out and he said yes, let's go. Wednesday then asks Tyler for directions to some place in the middle of nowhere. She makes her way to the place and she finds an old shed. An old man comes out of nowhere, and it's the same guy who committed a robbery at the antique store. Wednesday's trying to get a vision, but she can't seem to find anywhere to touch to get one. Bro, is that Taco Bell? And of course it's the door. So the shed that I was talking about where she tried to find the book was actually a replica of this shed. This old shed had to have been the actual shed where the Pilgrims did illegal things. It's the blonde girl! And we find out that her name is Goody Adams. She then slashes Crackstone's face, and then she gets put with all of the other kids in my basement. The Pilgrims then commit mass arson, so now everyone is here left to die, and the only person that's able to escape is Goody. She wakes up from a little nightmare and looks outside the fence gate, and holy she runs away and looks at the footprints to see that the monster is human. So now it's a game of murder mystery to see who is the imposter. Xavier pulls up and she tells him that the monster is actually human, but the rain washed away all the footprints. She gets back just in time for the ceremony. Wednesday and Thing are obviously mad that Crackstone killed all those people, so they do the ordinary and burn the statue to ashes. What a sight, am I right? The principal is absolutely. And then there's a shot of Thing dumping gasoline into the fountain instead of water. It cuts to the old man using his camera, and he gets absolutely demolished by the monster while also taking pictures for some reason. Enid gets ready for her date, and it cuts to Ajax in the shower where he puts a towel on the mirror so he doesn't get turned into stone. But of course, the towel falls and he gets turned into Dwayne. Enid's getting very impatient and she takes out her anger on a bus. The Popo go to investigate the crime scene and they take a look at all the pictures. Hold up, is that the episode 4? Stick to the end of this one because this one is a banger, I promise. Wednesday and Thing break into the secret facility where they can find some evidence for the old man's murder. Everyone's getting hyped up for this dance that's happening on the weekend. Xavier leaves his little cubbyhole and Wednesday commits yet another break-in. She turns on the light to see that Xavier had been making multiple drawings of the monster for a while now. Looks like he could be the sussy imposter. Xavier comes back to see that Wednesday had robbed him. She tries to play it off and she tells him she wanted to go over the homework. Little did she know that she was actually stupid and there was no homework because of the dance. Xavier asks if she's out here about the dance. She realizes that there's an opportunity to get up close with, investigate a possible imposter. So she asks him out to the dance and he obviously says yes. Hammerhead woman catches Wednesday looking at a dress or whatever, but what's more important is that she shows the evidence to the sheriff, and he says that if she can bring him concrete evidence, then they could talk about it. We find out that the mayor's son's name is Lucas, and Enid and him start talking. My guy Lucas asks Enid out to the dance, and she reluctantly says sure. Wednesday bumps into Tyler, and he asks about the dance. She tells him that she had to ask someone out. They walk away, and then she pulls up to the V Sanctuary, and she talks with Eugene about the case. She shows him the drawings, and he thinks that he's seen one of the places before. He was correct, and they go inside the cave. They find some bones and stuff, and then turns out it's concrete evidence. She breaks into Xavier's art place again, and now she's looking for more things to rob. Xavier pulls up and she gets caught in the act. She confronts him and tells him that she thought that he's an imposter. He finds out that the only reason she asked him out to the dance was just because she was trying to cover up the fact that she robbed him. He gets mad and tells her to get out of his room, which you gotta respect. She pulls up to the sheriff's office and tells him that she still thinks that Xavier is the monster, and it presents the evidence that she found. Bianca asks out Xavier because he don't got a date, and Thing pulls up to the coffee shop and puts a note in the tip jar. Tyler reads it and smiles. Wednesday opens her door and sees Tyler standing there, fully dripped out. Like, for real though, this guy is mad drippy. They're both confused because they have no idea what's going on, and turns out Thing dropped the note in there without her consent. She straight up slams the door in his face and yells at Thing for obvious reasons. She's looking for anything to wear, and turns out Thing is the absolute GOAT and bought her that dress. My guy's a professional wingman. She pulls up in the dress, and Eugene is waiting there as well because they were gonna stake out the cave that night. So he says that he's going alone. Wednesday tells him not to, obviously, so he walks away. Ajax is mad because they didn't go together and he walks away. Wednesday and Tyler pull up and Thornhill is there to greet them. Wednesday leaves and then gets them some drinks. Lucas gets a text from the gang and looks like they're planning something. Eugene didn't follow Wednesday's advice and now he's in the woods. Alone. Wednesday got word on what Tyler did to Xavier a while ago, and it looks like my guy changed. Man, I love that guy. No, what's that sound? The gang pulls up, and Lucas insists that they shouldn't do this. They call him a punk and tell him that they're doing this. Eugene sees a guy by the cave, and he flashes the flashlight on his face. There's then a huge explosion, and now he's running for his life. He hides behind a tree, and now he's chilling. The dance floor is now on, and everyone is vibing. Everything's going well, until the gang pulls a fire alarm, and turns out they replaced the water tank with red paint. Can I just say how much I love this shot? She gets the heebie-jeebies again, and it cuts to Eugene in the woods, and a growl. Enid gets all emotional because she didn't think that Lucas would betray her like that, and Ajax comes in clutch and scares the gang off. Romantic music starts playing, and he tells her that he turned into stone, but was too embarrassed to tell her before. And then they start aggressively making out! It cuts to Eugene still running for his life, and Wednesday's trying to catch up. He trips and falls, and loses all sight of his glasses, so now he can't see. No, Eugene, no! Wednesday finds him, and it's not looking good. Man, why you gotta end it like that? Episode 5. The episode opens up with a flashback of the young principal when she was a student, I'm pretty sure. Then this guy's seen dead on the floor, and Principal Weems looks up to see that Wednesday's dad, Gomez, was standing there with the sword. He gets arrested, and now it's back to present day, Parents Weekend. We meet Enid's parents and Bianca's mom, and literally like nothing important happens for like the next 10 minutes. Then we see Eugene in the hospital, and Wednesday's there to take care of him. Wednesday then sees her mother bring a rose to a gravestone just to tear it up for some reason. And so she goes and checks who the grave was, and it was Garrett Cates. Remember that name for later. The Popo pull up to the school and straight up arrest Wednesday's dad 32 years after the murder happened. They arrest him for the murder of Garrett Gates. Wednesday sees him behind bars, and she asks why he murdered that guy. It was the night of the 1990 school dance, and so Wednesday's dad and Wednesday's mom stepped out of the dance to catch some breath, by also aggressively making out. Turns out Garrett broke into the school, and he's a psychopath, and he loved Wednesday's mom. Garrett starts chasing down Gomez, and now when they reach the top of this balcony thing, Gomez grabs a metal bar and they start duking it out. Garrett drops the sword, and now Gomez has the opportunity to get it. He grabbed the sword and stood up, but Garrett's an idiot, and he just walked right into the sword. So Gomez pushed him off, and that's when Principal Weems saw his dead body. Back to present time again, and Wednesday meets up with her mother, and she tells her a different story. So it turns out Morticia, Wednesday's mother, was watching the fight unfold, and then Garrett knocks Gomez to the ground, and now Garrett's just trying to get up. So he starts approaching her, and she picks up the sword and stabs him. Morticia's freaking out, and then Garrett falls off the edge, and Gomez is a Chad. So he takes the blame for her, and he takes the sword and stands on the edge. Wednesday and Morticia go to the grave, and she starts digging up Garrett's dead body. The Popo come and catch Wednesday digging up a dead body, so they both get arrested. After a night, they get out. They then have a family group hug, and then Wednesday's family leaves. The principal and Wednesday go outside to see some stuff drawn on the lawn with fire, and that's the episode. Yeah, it's really short. Episode 6. The episode begins with Wednesday trying to communicate with the dead, but then a note gets slipped under the door that says this. So Enid and Wednesday pull up, and they start looking around. And then the boys pull up out of nowhere, and turns out it's Wednesday's birthday. Yippee. Then she gets a vision and sees Goody, and they talked about some stuff. Lucas and Bianca start talking, and Wednesday goes back to see Eugene in the hospital. She then goes to see Tyler, and he asks her out to dinner, and she kind of just ghosts him. She then pulls up to Xavier's art cubby and asks him about some of his drawings. Then Thing pulls down a curtain of one of the drawings, and it's revealed that Xavier had been drawing Wednesday. She doesn't say anything and then walks out. Wednesday pulls up to some house in the middle of nowhere, and then the mayor comes out, so she gets into cover. She sneaks into the trunk of his car and they drive away. The mayor gets out of his car and The principal is mad at her like it was her fault and bans her from leaving the school. Wednesday calls Tyler and she reconsiders the dinner. But then she asks Enid if she could come house hunting with her to the Gates mansion, the house in the middle of nowhere. So they get in Tyler's car and everyone's mad confused. They get to the house and in the garage they see the same car that hit the mayor. They then see a family portrait of everyone. Garrett and his sister Laurel. Wednesday and Enid then head upstairs, leaving Tyler alone in the bottom floor of a haunted house. Once they're upstairs, Wednesday tells them to split up and Enid's freaking out. They then hear a loud sound and they start running. Tyler yells at them and then the monster comes up the stairs. Wednesday and Enid then hide in the laundry chute and the monster starts trying to get in. The laundry chute then falls and they land in the basement with absolutely no injuries whatsoever. Enid gets out of there and the monster starts to come down the stairs. Wednesday gets some stuff from the basement and makes a break for it. Wednesday starts running back because they need to get Tyler. He's seen with a huge scar on his chest and Xavier's here for some reason. Wednesday's healing the huge scar on his chest and then the sheriff comes in. They go back to the haunted house and everything in the basement is just gone. The sheriff gets mad because she literally almost got everyone killed. She then gets banned from seeing Tyler and having anything to do with the whole case about the monster. She gets dropped off at the school and the principal is waiting there for her. She gets mad at Wednesday and now she's on her last strike. Wednesday goes to her room and sees Enid packing her things. Turns out she's moving out to another dorm for a few nights and Enid is mad at Wednesday. She walks out and now Wednesday's sad because she let everyone down. She opens this box that she found at the haunted house and sees a bunch of pictures of her. It then cuts to the mayor's hospital room and some guy unplugging his life support. So it looks like there's a stalker among us. Episode 7. Bro, this was hands down the most emotional episode ever. Just watch. Nah, they played Minecraft Manhunt IRL, bruh. So this egg guy is actually Wednesday's uncle or something. Enid's back at their dorm and not 1 minute goes by and these two are already arguing again. And Enid rage quits and then dips to another room. Wednesday goes back to the Mickey Mouse clubhouse and finds Xavier where she starts to expose him by stating every single time that the monster attacks, he's always been there. Xavier then says that if he's the monster, then why hasn't he killed Wednesday yet? And then my guy gets friend zoned. That's cold. They then pull down this painting and Thing commits a robbery and inside it's the useless book that they have been looking for the past like month or something. She then finds out that the monster's name is a Hyde. The redheaded woman then comes in and they talk about Enid and Wednesday not being roomies anymore. Xavier's seen on the phone and Wednesday, being the little stalker she is, literally pops out of nowhere. He goes into the shed and comes out with a bike. Wednesday and Eggman go chase after him in the whip, and Xavier is seen getting in a car with Hammerhead Woman. Wednesday goes into the coffee shop and turns out the Hyde has a master, and she thinks that Xavier is the monster and Hammerhead Woman is his master. Tyler then reschedules his date with Wednesday, and that night they were gonna meet up. Wednesday arrives at the date and Tyler is waiting there for her. Tyler gives her a flower and he tells her that she needs to close her eyes. My guy Tyler has maximum riz apparently, because he set up this entire thing for Wednesday. He set up a projector and now they're gonna watch a movie. Bro, she looks terrified. After the movie, he gets up close to her and she gives him this look. Bro, it's gonna happen. It's happening, bro. I feel it. And of course, the Popo ruined it yet again. Thanks a lot, Chase. Well, that was embarrassing. She comes back to her room being ransacked and everything's gone. Thing was the one who was supposed to take care of the book while she was gone. No, bro. No. You're kidding. You're kidding. Not my guy, Thing. If this revival fails as bad as Kim Kardashian's plastic surgery, I am going to cry. Dang, bro, she's crying. Hit me in the feels. Psych, I lied. As I said, Thing is the absolute GOAT and he clutched up in the gulag. Wednesday goes full Scooby-Doo mode and finds out that Laurel Gates is actually not dead. I think. So now there's two imposters. She pulls up to the Hammerhead Woman's place and gives her the old box that was in her old room. So she's basically saying that she's Laurel Gates. She basically just said every single piece of personal information about her and now she's spooked. She then hears a sound from her bedroom. She's actually stupid and opens the door and what a surprise, she gets murdered. The sheriff comes out of the room to inform them that Hammerhead Woman indeed did not clutch up in the gulag. Wednesday goes beast mode and gets to Xavier's art cubby before he can. She walks behind him and catches him in 4K. Looks like Xavier painted Hammerhead Woman being dead. He also had Rowan's inhaler in his room. And he is dead. She also finds Eugene's glasses in his room and he is dead. Well, not yet. And finally, Hammerhead Woman's necklace and she is dead. The Popo pull up and arrest Xavier and looks like she was right all along. Enid comes back or whatever, but I do not care whatsoever because she says that Tyler is still working at the coffee shop and so she heads over there. It's happening. It's happening. The romantic music, bro. They did it. Let's go. That look though. She then has a seizure and no, bro. No. Man, this episode already has too many plot twists. That was literally the best episode yet and they got ruined in the last 2 minutes. I actually like that guy, bro. We're at the last last episode. Let's go. The episode begins with Wednesday exposing Tyler about every single time he was the monster or whatever, and Bianca uses her superpowers to manipulate him to come to Xavier's cubby, where she literally chains him up and pulls out a hammer and a taser. And all of the other people tell her not to do this, and so she does the obvious thing to do in the situation, and does it anyway. She tases him in the neck, and they all start to dip so they don't get in trouble. All of them go to the principal and tattletale on Wednesday. The Popos show up, not to arrest Tyler, but to save him, because my guy was getting tortured. Right before Wednesday leaves, Tyler needs to talk to her, and he says this.
What does it feel like?
What does what feel like?
To lose?
He walks away, and Wednesday's back at the school, and she gets informed that she's indeed getting expelled. She goes to see Xavier, and she's willing to break him out of prison, but he does not care because she basically ruined his entire life. Enid's helping her pack all her things, and things get all emotional when Enid asks if she's gonna forget about her. And now they're besties again. But guess what? I do not care, because Enid said that she got a text that Eugene is alive. Let's go! She heads to the hospital, and everyone thinks that Laurel Gates is Hammerhead Woman, but she's dead now. But Eugene says otherwise, baby! My guy says that their boots were not black, but they were red. So turns out, the true imposter is Thornhill! She gets caught in 4K, and Tyler pulls up. And turns out, she had been forcing him to follow her commands for a while now. She then tells Tyler to kill Wednesday. And this part is kind of confusing, so just watch it.
You were never getting on that train. I sent Tyler to intercept you.
I never made it to the station. Heard enough?
Bro, she just got played. Holy shit, she's dead. Wednesday gets hit in the head with a shovel, but I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Thing is the absolute GOAT. And he was lurking in the shadows the entire time. And these two are aggressively making out yet again. Eugene calls Enid and tells her everything. Then Thing breaks in and confesses that GTA 6 leaks to her. Wednesday wakes up to her being hung by the actual Tyler this time. Now they're in Crackstone's crypt, the place where Tyler and Wednesday went on a date. And Thornhill is trying to summon Crackstone or something, and she's mad at Wednesday because his life was cut short because of Goody. It then cuts to Xavier in the sheriff's car, and one of the officers says that there's something happening at the school. He says to send some cars, but all of the tires were slashed. The sheriff uses his inner Forza Horizon 4 and does a sick drift and steps on the gas to get to the school. Wednesday's getting dragged up and she slits her hand to get the blood and looks like she's getting possessed. She falls over and she drags Wednesday into a corner and takes the book and starts saying some random words. Everything starts lighting up and zapping, and now Crackstone's back to life. Crackstone then stabs her and she falls over. Dang, she looks like she's dead. It then cuts to Enid in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse. Wednesday's barely alive, and Goody's ghost heals her back to life at the cost of her soul. The clubhouse gets everyone to evacuate the school. Enid trips, and now she's enhancing her inner Frost Fox. Wednesday then gets confronted with Tyler, and now he's turning into the Hyde. Well, it was a good run. Never mind. It's the Dream vs. Technoblade fight IRL. Crackstone pulls up to the school and commits arson yet again. Like I said, Thing is the absolute GOAT and sets Xavier free. The fight resumes and it looks like it's done for Enid, but he gets shot by his own father. Enid wins the duel and turns back to normal, and it looks like Tyler's dead. Wednesday takes the same sword that her mom used to kill Garrett and heads to the battlefield. She's about to die, but Xavier comes in clutch and shoots an arrow. That does absolutely nothing. And he just turns the arrow around. Then Wednesday jumps in front of it. She can't die now because she's on her last life, so she tells Xavier to leave for some reason. They start to duke it out when she makes one crucial mistake. When you're about to get in a fight, check your sword's durability. You idiot. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. So, her sword broke, and now Crackstone's about to kill her, but then Bianca comes in clutch and stabs him. He throws her out the way, but Wednesday was one step ahead, and stabs Crackstone in the heart with a piece of the broken sword. He then gets Thanos snapped out of existence, and I guess that's GG. So all in all, Wednesday was a pretty good series. Oh, never mind, Laurel pulls a Glock on Wednesday.
You brought a gun to a sword fight. It's probably the first smart decision you've made today.
Oh, she just got violated. Yo, what's that? Oh, it's the bees!
That's what you get for messing with Nevermore.
W, Eugene, let's go. Wednesday then kills her, and then it cuts to Enid with everyone else that escaped. She goes up to Wednesday and hugs her. Dang, this is emotional. Xavier then gifts Wednesday a new phone.
My number's in there already.
Dang, he's slick with it. And the season comes to a close with her getting a text message from a stalker and revealing that Tyler is still indeed alive. Anyways, I'll be back for season 2. Subscribe or I'll put a firecracker in your dog.